We good to go?
You're ready to go.
Great, thank you. All right, I will call this meeting of the LEOFF I board for what is today's date? For January 9th to order. We have an agenda. Any changes or updates to the agenda?
I'd move to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the agenda? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have an agenda. We do have minutes from our last meeting that we need to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, again, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Land acknowledgement. Where it doesn't show up on my agenda though.
Lenny, we emailed you a copy of the agenda too, if that's easier for you to pull that up.
Would that be easier? Because when I look at it on the what is it called, city clerk or whatever it is, I can't see it on there.
Oh, okay.
For some reason. Okay, I have it here though. Okay.
Yep.
Just make it a little bigger so I can see it. We, the city of Lacey, are on the ancestral land of the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek, including the Nisqually Indian Tribe and Squaxin Island Tribe. We acknowledge and remember those tribal people not recognized today who were absorbed and relocated into other tribes for survival. We recognize the ancestors and their descendants who are still here. We recognize and respect the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek as the traditional stewards of this land since time immemorial, and their role today in taking care of these lands in perpetuity. We recognize and have the responsibility to call attention to the histories of dispossession, forced removal, and abridged treaty rights that allowed our nation, state, and city to develop as they have today. We recommend that the community members read the Medicine Creek Treaty of 1854. Okay. Public comment. I'm guessing we don't have any since I don't think we have any members of the public with us. So we'll move right into our business items. First on that is advisory board public meeting materials. Alyssa.
Hello. I'm used to saying good evening, but it's afternoon. So
It is.
members. So I'm just going to touch base with you all on some recent updates or updates as of August of last year to the advisory board handbook. So City Council adopted some resolutions on August 6, 2004 that updated both the council policies and procedures as well as the advisory board handbook. And the updates to the advisory board handbook, really they added public comment and public hearing policies, as well as just some other general updates to kind of reflect current structure and processes. So some history to those updates, just for awareness. Early in 2024, a group of individuals providing public comment remotely made a series of discriminatory and hateful public comments during an advisory board meeting. In response to the event, the city released a statement condemning discrimination and hate speech. And this event also prompted the city to review and evaluate our public comment processes. So public comment is considered a limited public forum for free speech purposes. So governments can regulate the time, place, and manner of the speech, provided that the regulations are reasonable and content neutral. So in the United States, speech is protected by the First Amendment, which does include hate speech. So the handbook was updated to include a few chapters. We have a chapter on public comment, a chapter on public hearings, and a chapter relating to meeting disruptions. And really these are to help advisory board members and presiding officers have some guidelines and resources available to them throughout receiving public comment. In your packet, I wasn't going to go through the entire handbook with you all. It is posted online and we can absolutely get a copy over to anybody interested in reading it front to back. But in your packet, the public comment guidelines was included, and this kind of summarizes a good framework of what the city's policy is surrounding public comment. Just as a reminder to all of our members that public comment is a time for you all to hear from the community. It is not a dialogue. The purpose of the agenda item of public comment is for the public to inform the body about their views, and comments made by members of the public are theirs and theirs alone and not endorsed by the city. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Time cannot be donated to another speaker, and a total time allotted for public comment is 30 minutes. So those have kind of parameters have been added to the handbook to help.
Is that three minutes or 30?
3 minutes per
Okay.
individual public comment, but the total time for public comment,
Okay.
say if you have multiple individuals commenting, is currently set at 30 minutes. There is availability for the presiding officer with the approval of the body to extend that, but that is what's set just as a standard. And then we did include, prior to starting the comments, that individuals provide their name, city of residence, or connection to the city, and then a topic or subject matter of your comments. This applies really to comments that are made in person, remotely, and also written. So advisory board members are also including written public comment as a way to accept public comment, whereas prior to this update, not all advisory boards were set up with this feature. It touches on public hearing, which really kind of follows a lot of the same guidelines, but the public hearing, the comments are to be on the matter of the public hearing itself. And then there are a few specific things that are prohibited in public comment, such as addressing topics that have specified public hearings, for example. There's also electronic or physical presentations, recordings, or props are not allowed. Signs or banners are allowed, but they would be asked to be along the back wall so that they don't impede any part of the meeting. Disruptions or interruptions are also not allowed. So this could include clapping, cheering, booing, interrupting speakers, candidate endorsements, and those form of disruptions. And then specific threats of violence targeted against a person or group with a reasonable fear of harm to person or property or sexual harassment. This is it could become a hate offense, which is not permitted under the First Amendment, and this would be something that is prohibited that we would not allow under public comment. That summarizes a lot of the updates that were added into the handbook. All of this also included a script for presiding officers. If they come into any scenarios, they have some script language available should they want to utilize that in an instance that would arise, so that they have something readily available. Any questions on the handbook updates?
Nope.
Nothing needs
No
to be.
questions?
Yep, this is in just discussion only. This was already approved by council. This is something that's already in place and it's available to you all, but just wanted to make sure we highlighted some of the updates to you all personally.
Thank you, Alyssa. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was obviously we don't get much public comment typically at this particular meeting, but this was spurred by basically another one of our advisory committees really just being bombed with some just horrible speech that was something none of us need to or want to hear. But of course, under the First Amendment, we can't restrict what people say, really, right? There is no actual law against hate speech. So we have to allow it, but these parameters make it so at least we don't have to listen to it indefinitely. So anyway, anybody have any questions or comments for Alyssa? All right.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alyssa. Yep, thank you.
All right. We will move on to the next item on our agenda, which is review of LEOFF I claims.
All right, so since the last time that we met, we have received one request for reimbursement, and that was for $761.16 for dental premiums. I did actually just receive another request today, but that has not been processed yet, so I'll report out on that one on the next meeting, but we only had the one this time.
Okay, great.
Any
And
questions?
you don't need action from us, right? That was well within your threshold, so you took care of it already. Okay,
Yep.
great.
Absolutely. Yep, just reporting out on that.
Appreciate that. Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of our agenda. If anyone have any other business, anything good of the order?
Nope, just wish everybody had a great Christmas and a happy new year. Hope 2025 is good to everybody.
Yeah, same to you guys.
Mike.
Happy winter solstice.
There you go. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our agenda then. So I will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all for being here and participating. I appreciate it. And we'll see you all next month, or actually in 3 months, I guess.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.
Okay.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.